Break it down.
Get swishy with it. Swish Edition.
Hey, Dale.
Hi.
How are you today?
Oh, well.
I'm good to hear. I'm good to hear that.
I'm good to hear that.
I'm glad to hear that.
There you go.
Let's start the show.
The global pop culture phenomenon. Swish Edition with Dell and Scott. Coast to coast. Downloaded in 140 countries every week. This is the Swish Edition.
System activate. To the world. This is the Swish Edition.
International sensation.
Downloaded in 140 countries every damn week. The Swish Edition. The Swish Edition. The Swish Edition.
You're listening to the Swish Edition.
This has been an amazing year. Amazing year. We got off to a good start, 7-2, and then had a little rough stretch where we kind of found our identity and played a lot better football down last December, January, and just really proud of all the guys, proud of all the coaches, the effort we put in. We knew we were playing a great football team tonight, and we got the job done. So you want to get this far, you got to get the job done, and we did it.
You got to get the job done if you want to win the Super Bowl.
There you go. We're not allowed to say that.
That was, we're not advertising a bar special.
It doesn't matter.
We're allowed
to never do anything.
I think we're allowed to. All right, let me start over. You got to get it together if you want to win the big game.
Right.
That was Tom Brady. So I was just talking to my dad, Dale, and he told me why Tom Brady left New England and went to Tampa.
Yeah, I didn't know this. I didn't care, but
it's not like we talk about we don't talk about sports a lot on this show, but everyone in the world, except for I guess a lot of the gays and people who have their nose stuck in books and only listen to NPR, watched the game last on Sunday night.
Well, we watched it.
We certainly did watch it. We've always watched it. I don't think I've ever missed it.
Well, we missed. Well, we'll get there.
We will get there. But I want to get back to Tom. So Tom Brady is obviously GOAT. He's the greatest of all time. I mean, it's obvious. And I don't know why people give him a hard time for that. I don't know why we tend to be in this country negative about success. He's the best.
What do they say? Haters gonna hate.
Let him be the best. That's what he is.
Hate.
I mean, he's won more Super Bowls than anyone. So the reason he left New England was he was, at that time, when he was still there, the winningest quarterback of all time.
Right.
And he wasn't being paid for it. He was number 6 in salary in the NFL for quarterback.
I would have never guessed that.
And he's like, hey, dudes who own and run New England Patriots, I deserve the most because I am the best.
Right. It's basically he was working at a job and didn't like that job because he got more money somewhere else.
Right.
That's what it comes down to.
So he was a free agent. And
we do it all the time.
The Buccaneers, we do. And
you find someone
it should be.
Right.
And the Buccaneers were willing to pay him $25 million a year to play for them. And that's where he went. And I don't, he doesn't need the money. It's very clear that he has a fortune, and he and Giselle, his beautiful, beautiful wife.
It's principle.
Yeah, but together they're worth about $600 million.
If you feel that you're worth more than what you're getting, you ask for a raise. If you don't, you go somewhere else that's willing to give it to you.
Exactly.
And he did.
Sort of, we were just talking about this earlier today. People are saying, your house is not worth $800,000. Well, absolutely, it's worth $800,000 if someone is willing to pay $800,000 for my house.
Anything is worth anything as long as someone's
willing to pay it. Exactly. The Friends cast got all kinds of crap. They're like, they're not worth $1 million an episode. Well, yes, they were. To NBC and to the people who were paying for the ads on Friends, they were worth $1 million an episode.
They saw value.
Exactly. That show was making a lot more than that, or they would not have been paying them $1 million a year. So is Tom Brady worth $25 million a year? Well, damn right he is.
There you go.
He is the GOAT.
Whether if you like him or not.
Right. I don't give a shit who won that game. I really didn't care, and I actually went to bed before it ended. We went to bed sometime in early fourth quarter, correct?
Yeah, it wasn't long. It was like
it was kind of obvious who was going to win.
I mean, it was like maybe 9:30.
If it was close, we might not have gone to bed. Right. Correct. But all the good commercials had been on, and it was kind of we'd been drinking and eating since early in the afternoon, and we'd had all of our goodies, and we were done.
Over it.
We were done, and it was kind of a shit show. I have to talk about this because,
of course,
I really, we turned the TV on at like 2:00 in the afternoon to CBS to watch all their pregame stuff because I talked about this last week. I knew they were going to start at 8:00 in the morning, and they did.
And they did.
It was all day long, and the over sentimentality in the coverage of this game was just too much for me to bear.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like heroes of the frontline workers and the diversity of the first woman referee on the sideline. It was just too much. It was constant. Yes, I'm all for front work. I don't discount frontline workers. Right. I think they're wonderful. Nurses and doctors and people dealing with COVID are wonderful. But do we have to constantly have it pushed down our throats? And does it need to be part of the Super Bowl coverage? It's a fucking football game. It's not it's not the government. It's not the I don't understand this propaganda that we're being shoved down our throats at all times. You must be patriotic. You must hail our heroes on the front line that are dealing with COVID. It's constant. It's like, shut the fuck up. Let's just talk about Tom Brady and his $25 million.
It was a lot. I agree.
It was too much for me. It was way too much for me. And then, Toyota puts out a commercial, and their commercial was, wash your hands, wear a mask. And it's like, you're selling cars, not safety, you stupid fucks. Let's talk about your fucking new shifter. Let's talk about your new bumpers.
Shifter.
I just don't get it. And apparently women are people too. Now we have a woman vice president, and now for the first time ever, there was a female ref on the sidelines.
Oh, yeah.
At a NFL game. And I put this thing on Facebook. I checked it with you before I put it up because I wanted to make sure I wasn't going to get shit for it. Yeah. But I said, so women can be vice presidents now. They can be NFL reps now. What next? Women are going to want to wear pants when they go grocery shopping.
I mean, it does say something when the whole thing was dominated by men and it was the first one. You got to mention it. Do you not?
I think it's wonderful that I think women are people too.
And they did not
I'm not discounting
They
that.
didn't spend a lot of time on her.
No.
They didn't. They just mentioned it. It was like maybe 5 minutes total.
That's not true. It came up over and over again. I mean, I thought it was kind of crazy 10 years ago when they started using female reporters on the sidelines at NFL games. It's like, why? I mean, this is a man's sport. Why do you have a female down there on the sidelines? It didn't make sense to me, but people seem to like it. Mm-hmm. Aaron Andrews made a whole career out of it. Hey, I'm all for it. Women can do anything. Gays can do anything too.
Can they?
We now have a gay transportation secretary.
There you go.
First ever.
He can run the stoplights.
Yeah.
Isn't that what he does? He just sits behind a computer all day and turns red lights green and green lights red.
I don't think that's part of his job.
Oh.
No. It's so crazy. I guess I have lots of examples here. Maybe I shouldn't talk about them all. But, Jim Nantz, who is one of the biggest sportscasters, he called the game along with, now I forgot his name. I should know it. Anyway, he said...
Romo.
Yeah, Romo.
That's all I got for you.
That's all you got?
I just know it's Romo.
He introduced the telecast when they first went on the air. He said, we're all unify. We all unify to watch this game as one. And it's like, are you fucking kidding me? That's the kind of shit that I hate. We're all unifying to watch this game as one.
Well, it's something.
What kind of fucking shit is that?
It's the one time we can all come together and watch and all agree that we're going to have a good time.
We all know what's happening. We all know what's happening. We've all come together, every creed and color.
I guess I don't understand because I don't have really deep opinions about much of anything. I mean, there's a few things that I think are important, but most things I could give two shits about, and I have no opinion whatsoever to give you.
So the only reason we're doing
none whatsoever.
All right. So the only reason we're doing shows like this is because I'm making you.
No,
I'm not talking. You have an opinion?
I'm not talking about that. Yes, I could go through, but I'm talking about stuff like this. You obviously feel very strongly about it.
I feel very strongly about it, or I wouldn't be talking about it on our podcast.
And I, on the other hand, I just don't get it.
So when you were watching the pregame and the early coverage of the game, this stuff didn't stand out to you as being ridiculous and overdone.
But I expected it. It happens every time.
It's too much. It's too much.
Well, then you just ignore it and sip on your drink and have little hot dog weenies and we had mini hamburgers.
Mini hamburgers, and we had crab cakes.
Sara Lee artisan. Were they buns? Not buns. They were rolls.
I don't know. I don't know why you're talking about that. They were good. They were good. That's not what we want to talk about. I want to talk about the weakest halftime show ever. The weakest halftime show brought to you by The Weeknd, who only has 2 E's in his name, not 3.
Mm-hmm.
As many of my friends miss.
I know. I did. I spelled it wrong.
It's not The Weeknd. It's W-E-E-K.
It's The Weeknd.
N-D.
Weeknd.
Just because you got to be different. Anyway, I don't understand this. He's not a superstar. He is not J-Lo. He's not Michael Jackson. He's not Diana Ross. He's not Aerosmith. I don't understand why he was up there last night or Sunday night. And I don't understand why they picked him. I really don't.
Nobody else was available to do it.
Nobody else was available. Everyone's available.
No, that's not
bullshit.
True.
Do you know that these people aren't paid? You did know that.
I did know that. Yes.
Yeah. So J-Lo wasn't paid last year. Maroon 5 wasn't paid the year before. They don't get paid. They do get their costs covered.
Right.
You know, the costs of building the stage and hiring the dancers and all that stuff. But they don't get any money for this. It's purely everybody wants to do it, so you want to do it.
It's one of those honors that you want to be called about.
Is it? I mean, it is a private company, the NFL, so why would you agree to volunteer your time for the Super Bowl?
Because people are nice.
That's
want to do it.
It's ridiculous.
Here we go.
This is not a non-profit organization. Someone's making a lot of fucking money off the Super Bowl. CBS and the NFL made billions off it. And they want J-Lo to perform for free, and she does it. I mean, it's kind of crazy. Maybe that's why The Weeknd was the only one who said yes.
Maybe people are wising up.
Anyway, it was horrible.
I mean, because the NFL was in the news a lot last year.
Well, yeah, for all their Black Lives Matter stuff.
And they didn't, turn the corner until very late in the season. So maybe that's why there were maybe limited options for superstars to perform for the halftime show.
I guess I don't understand because, I mean, more than half of the players are black. So how have they not stood up for African-American people?
The whole idea that Colin Kaepernick was actually fired.
Because he took a knee at the game.
And then the fact that they put some rule in place that you can't do it. And it wasn't until the end of everything that they said, okay, enough.
It's not the place to make your political statement. If you want to make your political statement, do it on your own time.
That's fine. You might have an issue.
What if I went to my job? What if I was a Delta flight attendant and I was on the airplane and I decided this is the time that I'm going to make a stance for all lives matter, whatever kind of lives matter, and I'm going to take a knee during the beginning of a flight. I mean, do you think Delta would put up with that for 5 minutes? No.
Yeah, but they're also doing it during the national anthem. I don't think that qualifies as work time.
These people have a job. They're being paid millions of dollars a year to do something.
You can't force people to stand for something.
Do your job. Yes.
You can't.
You're at work.
No.
They're at work, Dale. They're at work.
If I was working for McDonald's and we had to sing or do the Pledge of Allegiance every day before work and I didn't necessarily agree with it, I might not do it. And you're telling me it's going to be a part of my job is to show
your allegiance
to my country? No. You can't force people to do that.
All right, well, when you say it that way, I can see.
All this happened before the game even started, and it was during
But they're
a
at
prominent
work.
Oh,
They're at
yeah.
work. So
Yeah.
if
So
you
would
don't-
I be if I worked at McDonald's?
So
But if
maybe-
you're gonna
so
say the
maybe
Pledge of
they
Allegiance every day,
But maybe they should stay in the locker room until that part of the thing is
see,
over.
it's just all stupid, and it was made of something that. See, if you want to talk about something that I have an opinion about, that's something I have an opinion about, but that's not for the show.
You apparently do, and it is
Yeah.
for the show because this is our show and we can talk about whatever we
Yeah.
want. And I was playing devil's advocate. I think these guys should be able to do it if they want.
Right.
But if I was the owner of the team, I might have a different feeling about it. So
Well, and then you start getting to the issue that if you were fired, then it becomes a First Amendment thing.
yeah, I guess it does. But I guess it depends on the job you have because
It
again,
doesn't matter what job you have.
if you're a flight attendant on Delta Airlines and they
But
come
is
on to do the
Delta
security,
But is Delta singing the national anthem and saying the Pledge of Allegiance before each flight? No,
no, but
they're
they
not.
have a federally regulated safety discussion that they have to have at the beginning of the flight. So what if the flight attendants decide this is the moment I'm going to take a stand for Black Lives Matter and I'm going to take a knee during the federally regulated safety demonstration?
That has no.
So you don't think the two
that's the
things-
shit I hate, where you take something that's very simple to understand and mean, and then you just dig at and dig at it and dig at it and dig at it to find an issue. Well, if you can do it here, then maybe I can do it here. Completely different.
Completely different. All right. I'm not sure how they're different, but I will agree that we might not agree on this.
Okay.
All right. So, as much as I hated the Weeknd's show, which I thought was ridiculous, he has no stage presence whatsoever, and I thought it was just plain weird.
Well, there was no stage, really, was there?
I know. He didn't even perform on the field until the last couple minutes.
He had that cool back city background, though.
Was
That
it cool?
fun.
He could have been anywhere. It was just weird to me. It wasn't like what I expected a football halftime show to be.
Yeah.
Anyway. And I don't think he's a superstar. I like him. I like his music. But I don't think he's like all that. You know? He's not Justin Timberlake. So I have some ideas of who they should pick next year. So I think at the top of my list would probably be Taylor Swift. I mean, she's one of the most popular singers
Why
in
do
the
I
world.
feel like that's so obvious that it's been done, but we don't watch sports enough that maybe we've missed it?
She's never been asked to participate in the Super Bowl.
Because she would be great.
She's got 85
She
top hits.
would be great. And I think, although she's very opinionated, she has...
So are lots of the people that have been before. I mean, Madonna.
But I think
Madonna's very
a lot of
opinionated.
people would like her.
Yes, she would cover both country and pop. Then there's others. I mean, you could do Cher. You could do Dolly Parton. Miley Cyrus is great. I mean, she might be a little too.
You hate Miley Cyrus.
I hate her because she's always sticking her tongue out and grabbing her pussy. But yeah. But Miley was part of the pregame show in this year's.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she was up there with Joan Jett and Billy Idol, which I thought was really, really cool. She was kind of bringing the old school people up there with her.
I tell you what, the two best, I think, were the absolute best, and I don't care what anyone thinks, were the two times Bruno Mars was on the Super Bowl.
I mean, I like Bruno Mars. I think he has a lot more stage presence than the Weeknd does.
That time that he brought out the Red Hot Chili Peppers, that was amazing.
Cool. All right, so along that vein, you could have someone like Justin Bieber and friends.
Mm-mm.
I mean, Justin's had like 10 hits in the past 12 months, and he's got tons and tons of friends. He could have lots of special guests, surprise guests. You don't want. I thought you liked Justin.
His songs that are by himself are like slow songs, like low. You don't want that at a Super Bowl. So you'd have to bring 12 dozen people with him to be able to do the other songs that he's
all right.
more popular.
What about this one? Queen and Adam Lambert. That's ridiculous. I mean, they've got huge anthems that would be awesome in a stadium.
What about like NXS or something?
Because the lead singer of NXS hung himself and is dead. Jesus Christ. Are you talking about NSYNC? Because they've already done it.
No, NXS.
All right.
Dun, 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 dun.
What about Pink? Pink's never done it.
I would like, yeah, as long as she did Get the Party Started.
Well, of course, you'd have to do that. Do you want to talk about commercials?
Sure.
All right. So a lot of people that I talk to only watch the game for the commercials. Yeah. I would take breaks, like pee breaks and food breaks during the actual gameplay and make sure I was there for the commercials.
Right.
So a couple of the standouts that I really enjoyed was Timothée Chalamet. Yeah. Who showed up as Edgar Scissorhands.
I like the
son of Edward Scissorhands. Winona Ryder was also in the commercial. And it was for Cadillac's Lyric hands-free driving car.
And you know what?
It was really well done.
It was really well done. And to look at him in that costume, they should make another Edward Scissorhands. That was better than the first one. The first one's campy. I mean, it's fun, but it's campy. Maybe they can make a better one.
Another commercial I really liked was T-Mobile's with Adam Lambert, Gwen Stefani, and Blake Shelton.
That might be my favorite.
It was really cute. So Gwen Stefani has a video conversation with Adam, but they have shitty service. So she's talking about the guy she wants to date, and she was saying all these. So you first hear her talk about the perfect person she wants to date,
right?
But it comes across as like, I want a country bumpkin, and then so Adam Lambert,
he's intimidated by women and all that stuff, and so then he's right there.
Adam Levine hooks her up with Blake Shelton on a date.
It's funny,
and it's funny because Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani are actually engaged to get married. So.
Right? No, it's fun.
That's what's funny about it.
Yeah.
I liked Drake as Jake from State Farm stand-in. That was kind of cute. Tracy Morgan on the Rocket Mortgage. That was funny.
There were some funny parts in that. I'm not a huge fan of Tracy Morgan's comedy, but
I'm not either, but that was funny. Like when he's trying to drive across the bridge.
Yeah.
I'm pretty certain we can make it.
Yeah.
The Toyota's Paralympic swimmer with Jessica Long, that was really that was one of the touchy-feely ones that I liked because it was true.
Yeah.
She was adopted from the Ukraine, and
she's from Maryland.
Yeah. And
that came out today.
Oh, is she a local?
She's from Maryland, yeah.
Yeah, but she was originally born in Ukraine.
Correct.
And she was adopted by a family in Maryland.
Yeah. The whole story's true.
And they told her, this baby's going to have her legs amputated.
Now she's an Olympic swimmer.
Yeah, and they were like, yeah, we'll take her. Awesome. I like that one. I also like the Sesame Street characters with David Diggs for DoorDash. That was kind of cool.
Yeah. But
then there were some really bad ones. Did you have a standout bad one? I mean, there were so many bad ones.
I mean, I actually didn't watch the commercials as much.
All right, there was an Oatly commercial.
You have a blah one that I actually thought was kind of fun.
What's that?
The Paramount Plus ones.
Well, okay, so
they were fun.
CBS is really pushing their Paramount Plus, which debuts on March 5th.
4th.
March? Are you sure?
Yeah.
God, I could have sworn it was the 5th. See, advertising doesn't work on me, folks.
No, March 4th.
So Viacom CBS obviously has their CBS All Access streaming service, but they're renaming it Paramount Plus, and that's what all these commercials were about. You saw all the CBS stars climbing to the top of this mountain. It was kind of cool that they got so many people involved.
I mean, you had Noreen Gale from CBS This Morning. You had Jeff Probst.
Yeah, from
Survivor. You had Dora the Explorer.
Beavis and Butthead.
Beavis and Butthead were on there.
Yeah, the lead chick from Star Trek, the black captain from Star Trek.
You had there were a few Star Trek cameos on there,
and because they had Picard too.
Yeah, and then what's her face from the Jersey Shore,
Snooki.
He kind of like picked up the ass end of this whole people traveling up the mountain.
Even Ricky and Lucy from the old I Love Lucy.
That's right.
They were up there too for a brief second. So,
and it was 4 commercials total, and it was their way of working to the top of the thing. And then remember the puppet got frostbite.
That part I didn't understand.
And then Gayle King was interviewing DJ Khaled, and she was like, "We'll be right back. We're going to talk about the puppet who got his frostbite."
I missed that
part. And he's like, "Puppet frostbite's real, people." It's funny.
We just started a foundation for that.
Yeah.
Then there was the Cheetos commercial with Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis and Shaggy.
That was fun.
done too. It wasn't me.
I'm just wondering how many people didn't know who Shaggy was. Who that person was.
Well, I certainly
didn't understand.
I certainly knew the song, and I certainly knew Shaggy, but I thought Ashton Kutcher's singing was really, really bad.
I wish he didn't sing, and I wish he just said it.
Yeah,
because she was just saying it.
Yeah,
that would have been better.
And she looked really weird to me. Like, she's so cute and awesome, and she looked very weird in that commercial. I don't know why. It was her hair or something.
Oh, I don't know. I think they both look really good together.
Well, and Ashton doesn't seem to age. He looks really, really good.
I mean, he's in his, mid-40s?
Yeah. And there was that really crazy oat milk commercial where the CEO was sitting in the field singing.
That's one of those things where you just trying to be memorable by being horrible.
By being horrible, right, because everyone's
works.
talking about it today. Right. So,
and he had a horrible song, but it was just catchy enough that if you listen to it, you'll sing it.
All right, so we've talked the entire show about the Super Bowl. I mean, literally, it's 26 minutes.
Holy moly!
I didn't mean to do that, and I wrote like 8 more pages of script.
Oh my god!
Do we want to talk about Dolly? Maybe we'll skip Dolly.
Yeah,
there's lots of Dolly Parton news, but I'll just really quickly say that she turned down getting the Presidential Medal of Freedom twice during the Trump administration, but it wasn't what people originally thought. It wasn't because it was coming from Trump. She just couldn't do it for various reasons.
Right.
She had a sick husband at one point, and then because of COVID, she didn't want to travel to the White House. And now she feels like if President Biden offers it to her, she doesn't want to take it because people are going to think, oh, I just was waiting until Trump was gone. And that's not what she meant at all, because she stays very apolitical as much as she can.
Right.
Former President Obama said on a late show appearance with Stephen Colbert that he wishes he had given it to her. And he said that was one of the big mistakes of his presidency.
Oh, no.
Can you imagine?
Did you know that for the last 4 years I guess there has been, but there wasn't a president there for the Kennedy Center honors.
Oh, right, because it was beneath Trump?
Yeah, I guess.
Right?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure the Bidens will show
That's
up.
sometimes a good show, depending on who they're...
It can be really great.
It can be really, really great, especially if they're giving it to a musician.
Yep.
But sometimes it can be
And this
awful.
year, I don't know the whole list, and we'll talk about this on a future show, but I know that Dick Van Dyke is one of the recipients this year.
Oh, can anyone just go to that?
No. You have to be like a major donor to the Kennedy Center. That's the only way you can go.
I was just wondering why we never went.
Because I'm not
whole 15 years I lived in DC.
donor to the Kennedy Center. That's like the golden ticket of DC society to be able to go to that event. It's one of the best events of the year.
The highest of the high society in DC goes Kennedy Center. Yeah.
Have you've been to the Kennedy Center, right?
Yeah, I've been there several times.
I mean, amazing.
It's
one of the best venues in the country.
It's a awesome venue to be into.
I've seen Broadway shows there. I've seen concerts there. I've seen you've been to that upstairs. Oh. So
I've never been to a concert there. I saw a Broadway show there. But I think one of the most fun things I saw, because the Kennedy Center has different rooms. It's not just one big theater. It has multiple.
There's the Opera House.
There was this little tiny theater somewhere in the corner. It was near the opening to that ledge that overlooks the river where the cars go under.
Sure.
And I saw this comedy show that you go and the comedy is made up on the fly because the audience participates.
It's called Sheer Madness.
That's the one.
Yeah, it's been there
forever. Yeah, I saw it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, it's still there. Well, I don't know about COVID, but after COVID, it'll still be there. Yeah, I've seen it multiple times. It's very fun.
So you could go multiple times and have a different outcome.
Yeah, because the audience votes on what happens at the end.
Right.
Yes. That's a great show.
It is a fun show.
Yeah. And they have a good restaurant. You should go early and eat in that restaurant on the roof. It's really
I've never eaten there.
Oh, it's so much fun. Much fun.
What is fun is on like a spring evening, even a nice summer evening, and going out on that balcony.
And just seeing DC.
And looking at Alexandria? Arlington.
It's Arlington.
Yeah. Anyway.
Valentine's Day is coming up this Sunday.
Sunday. Oh, that's over now.
What are you getting me?
Now we're getting March Madness. Ugh. Tell me about what if I had to rank sports basketball is the worst.
We're talking about Valentine's Day. Why are you talking about basketball?
Because you said Valentine's Day is Sunday, and I was like, Sunday for football. And that got me back on the sports thing.
I don't know where that comes from. But anyway, yeah. I don't like basketball either, especially college. College is horrible. It's the worst.
The worst. I'd rather watch golf.
I was about to say golf is the worst. Tennis is the fucking worst thing to watch, I think.
Anyway, Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day is a Sunday. Did you know that someone did a study to decide what states are the best states to live in if you are single?
Yeah, I'm interested in this because I don't understand this worksheet because I want you to explain to me number one.
Florida is ranked number 1 for singles.
It has a total score, I assume this is out of 100, of 69.54.
Yeah, that was the highest.
The dating opportunities are 1.
Right. That means
does that
the
mean
best.
1-to-1?
I guess it means they came in at number 1. I don't know. They're at the top of the list, Dale. Can you just agree with me that this is the right ranking?
I agree. It's the ranking. I just wanted... Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So dating opportunities, they came in number 1. They're also in romance and fun. They came in number 6. But overall, putting all things together, Florida came in number 1.
Okay.
Number 2 is Texas. Number 3 is Pennsylvania, which, ew, gross. Who wants to live in Pennsylvania? No one. Number 4 is Wisconsin. And number 5 is New York. I don't know about any of these. I think all of the top 10 suck. I mean, Ohio.
Wait,
please. Ohio's number 8, Melissa.
Is he on here?
No.
Because there's 50. No, that's not on here. They always leave that out.
Yeah, DC's not on there. Nobody wants to live in DC. So. All right, so where is Nevada? Because we used to live in Nevada. Let's find out where they are.
I suspect if DC was on here, it would be pretty low on the list.
Do you?
Yeah.
Nevada's number 33.
Ah, I see.
And dead last is a state that you and I have lived in.
Yeah.
New Mexico. So if you're single,
38.92 out of 100.
Yeah, if you're single and ready to mingle, don't move to New Mexico. Also, don't move to West Virginia. They're number 49. North Dakota's number 48. Hawaii. Now, this doesn't make sense to me. Hawaii's number 47.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I thought that would be like lover's paradise.
Right.
Because that's where you go when...
for vacation.
For like dating. You take someone out on a date.
Arkansas is number 46. Delaware, number 45. Holy crap. Well,
Kentucky and then Wyoming.
Good thing we're not singles in Delaware. Anyway, that's the list, y'all. So if you're single, get your ass to Florida. Florida also doesn't have state income tax, so that's a good thing.
Well, yeah, and if you're not in Florida and you like American Airlines, they're doing a lot of cheap travel to Miami and Orlando.
You said there was like a $30 flight?
I found a $30, no, it's one way, a $30 one way from DCA to MCO.
That's Orlando. Yeah. Well, so
$30.
Double that. That's $60 for your vacation. But what are you going to do once you get there?
Because there was no MCO to DCA. These were one-way fares.
How much does it cost to get back?
It can't cost no more than a couple $100, right?
I don't know. They just want to leave you down there?
These were their one-way special fares, DCA to MCO.
All right. Well, I guess if you're single, that's what you want to do. One way.
Right.
One way.
Right.
Because if you're
really, you want to do one way?
Yeah, because if you're single, you go down there, find a mate, and he'll figure out how to send you back. Valentine's Day is big business, Dale. I didn't know this. In the United States, about 190 million Valentine's Day cards are sent every year through the mail, not including the hundreds of millions of cards that school children exchange at school.
I actually don't like this day.
Although I'm pretty sure that school kids probably are not going to be exchanging hundreds of millions of cards this year.
No, but that was one of the things that you did. You go to the grocery store and get those boxes of little M&Ms or Skittles, and it came with, will you be my Valentine? You had to give them to everybody in your class.
You had to give them to everybody or no one at all.
Right.
That was some of the teachers' rules.
Because we used to have a paper bag, and you taped it to your desk.
Yes.
and people would go and they put them into your paper bag.
I remember that.
And you were supposed to decorate your paper bag with, they give you like crayons and markers and stuff.
I remember all of this. It was crazy.
You can still buy those, and
I've seen them in the store.
I actually bought them once for work one time.
To give out to your friends
To
at
give
work.
out to my department and stuff, and it was actually a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So that's fun to do, too. Don't just think these are just for school children. Buy some for your friends at work.
You should. Or
It's
your
fun.
neighbor and your neighbors in your neighborhood.
Right.
What are you getting me?
I can't say it on the air.
Valentine's Day is a major source of economic activity, too. Did you know this? That in the most recent numbers are in from 2017. $18.2 billion was spent on Valentine's Day in 2017. That's $136 per person for every American in the country.
And $100 of that is flowers and $36 for a card.
Cards aren't $36.
You get those really nice cards.
Or you get some chocolates to go along with the flowers.
Right.
I don't want flowers or chocolate.
No.
I just want you to know that.
Yeah, I didn't get either of those. I got something better. Mainly because it's something that if you didn't want it, I would eat it.
Yeah.
It's a self-serving gift.
Do you want to talk about the controversial stuff so we can talk about Subway and the fact that they're being sued by a California company for not having real tuna in their tuna fish?
The tuna thing, but I don't know really much about it. And
that's it, basically. So they're being sued because this company did a test. They took multiple samples from Subways in California and found that there was actually no legitimate tuna fish, actual tuna fish in Subway tuna fish. Subway says that's bullshit. Our tuna fish is 100% tuna mixed with mayo. And to prove it, we're going to give you a discount, 15% discount if you use It's Real when you go buy.
That's the last thing I want. You tell me you're being sued because you don't have real tuna fish, and then you want to give me a discount to buy some.
You're right. It doesn't quite make any sense. I thought that was really funny. Do you want to tell everybody why you're doing that, or should we just move on?
You not smell it?
I know why you're doing it. I just don't know if you want to tell.
Christ.
I just don't want if you tell the listeners why you're doing that.
Oh, could they hear it?
I don't know.
Oh, anyway.
One of our dogs.
The dog that's always in here under my feet.
He's under the podcast table.
And he is gassing me out of my chair.
Yes.
Like it is strong and potent.
This room.
And then it happens right when we're talking about tuna fish. And it makes my stomach hurt now.
That is really, really funny. I think I'm going to save the cancel culture stuff for another show because we've gone really long. But I do have things to talk about. We have some controversial stuff to talk about. But we've gone
cancel culture, that could be a whole nother 30-minute show right there.
We've gone really, really long. That's true. But there's been a lot of cancel culture lately, Dale.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about it, but we're going to do it next week or another week when we don't have so much to talk about. We had a lot to talk about this week. I want to talk about this because we have talked about a lot recently, celebrities that have lost their lives. Already in 2021, we've lost so many greats. Christopher Plummer died last week on February 5th. He was 91 years old. You all know him. You've watched him many times as Captain Von Trapp in The Sound of Music. He was also the oldest person at the time. He was 82 years old when he won an Oscar for 2010's Beginners. He was also nominated. I didn't know this. He was nominated for All the Money in the World.
Yes.
One of the last movies he did where he stepped in and reshot all of Kevin Spacey's
I forgot all about that. And that's supposed to be really good. And we haven't seen it.
I haven't seen that. But remember, Kevin Spacey was in that movie, and they cut him out because of all his Me Too shit that went on.
We got to put that on our list.
And then he was also in one of the most popular movies of a couple years ago, Knives Out.
I did not know that.
Christopher Plummer's last movie in Knives Out.
Wow.
Anyway, Christopher Plummer died at 91 years old. He was amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I totally forgot about All the Money in the World. That's supposed to be so good.
If you guys want to hear a lot more about movies and TV, especially on the streaming platforms, listen to the Binge Bum podcast. It's out this Friday. Dale's baby.
Wah, wah, wah.
I also didn't talk about this guy.
Oh, no.
The streaker. The streaker at the Super Bowl.
I was so disappointed because we went to bed And then I wake up in the morning, and that's all I can see on my news feed is this streaker running down the field, and we missed it.
All right, but it turns out that he was paid to be out there by a porn company.
It's pretty clever.
They were making money off him, and I'm sure they'll pay his legal fees.
Pretty clever.
We'll talk more about that next time.
Yeah.
We love you guys. Thanks for listening to the Swish Edition.
Bye.
You're listening to Swish Edition.com.
We might not agree on this.
Okay.
All right.